Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pointer Media with my broadcast partner, Tim Malone. I'm Jay Baker, and we're excited for Friday Night Football, Thursday edition. The weather has been super cooperative all year, and it's expected not to be tomorrow, so this game was moved up a day. Tim, this game, it's not an understatement to say it's the biggest game in this program in almost 30 years. Van Buren with an opportunity to do something tonight that they haven't done since 1996 against the team that if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and all roads run through Greenwood right now.
That's exactly right, Jay. And sports is full of superlatives. And this game, I don't think you can have enough because it means so much, actually, to both teams, and especially to Van Buren, because I would say that the last two games, Lake Hamilton and then versus Southside, those were statement wins. Those were wins that Van Buren needed. This tonight puts us at a whole new level.
Yeah. You and I started the season looking ahead, and we said coaches can't do this, but you and I can. And we looked ahead at the schedule, and we said if you want to accomplish what you really are setting out to accomplish this year, you need to start 4-0 in conference because it's so backloaded. The last three games are an absolute gauntlet. Yeah. And here we sit at 4-0 with an opportunity to come down to Greenwood and end a 73-game home win streak against an absolute juggernaut of a program. Let's start with Greenwood. We'll be careful with our, as you said on the way down, with our superlatives for them, but they are due all of those superlatives. They've been to 5 consecutive state title games, won 3 of those, haven't lost a game since the 2022 season. What is it that makes Greenwood churn and work?
Well, for one thing, they have a reputation, and they also have a coaching staff, and they have a whole community that is committed to their sports programs, and especially football. I mean, you don't win 5 titles by accident. And I'm just talking about the last 5 years. I'm not talking about, 12 total?
It was 8 under Rick Jones, and now it's 3 under Coach Chris Young.
Okay, so, the superlatives, I mean, you can't argue fact. And the fact is what it is. And that means they have won state championships. But Van Buren doesn't have to walk in here going, uh-oh. Yeah. We don't have to do that. That's not something that this program has to do now, because every program is working to get there. Greenwood had to work to get there at some point.
Yep.
They had to find their way, and they had to get the players, they had to get the coaches. And who's to say that Van Buren is not there right now?
Yeah, that's right. We're 22 and a half minutes from kickoff here. We're down in Greenwood here at Smith Robinson Stadium. Thursday Night Football, special environment. We're talking about Greenwood for now. We're going to talk more about the Pointers in a second. Let's talk about this Greenwood defense. One of the things that struck us both as we were watching film is their ability to adapt. We've been told this year that this defense is down a little bit. We've watched some film. What's your take?
I would agree with that assessment. The fact that you and I watched them against Lake Hamilton and against Shiloh Christian, 2 different styles, if you will, but they can make plays. Don't go to sleep on them, because they can definitely make plays. But I would say position to position, they are not as strong as they have been in the past. And I think with the offense that Van Buren has, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, is that we can get the job done.
Yeah. They've got skill positions that kind of all over the place. One person that popped on film for you and I was the defensive end, and I failed to highlight his number.
Yeah, Cody Johnson, number 49.
Yep. Yeah, number 49. He will, if you haven't watched Greenwood this year, he'll pop. He's 6'4", 240. He looks every inch and pound of that. He caused a lot of problems in the 2 games that we watched. Their defensive line is thick. They look like classic interior defensive linemen. So what's Van Buren? We'll kind of punt to them for a minute. What do you expect Van Buren's going to have to do to be able to run against that front?
Well, I've said it, and I sound like a broken record, but it starts with the offensive line. And whether they have to protect Hayden Williford or whether they have to open up holes for Hayden Christenberry. And I think what they have to do tonight is they have to create long, sustained drives because the Greenwood offense is very explosive. They can move the ball down the field very quickly. For example, if you just go back to their game last week against Lake Hamilton took about 6 to 7 minutes off the clock on a drive, went down, kicked a field goal. In 50 seconds, Greenwood went down and scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So you can see the dichotomy there between styles and what has to happen. Van Buren's been very good this year in those long, sustained drives. And honestly, we're going to need 4 or 5 of them tonight for 2 reasons. To keep the ball out of the offensive hands of Greenwood and to give the Van Buren defense plenty of time to rest and prepare themselves for the next series.
We were making sure we weren't doing the national anthem, and we're not, so we'll tune to that when we get there. Coming into this game, Greenwood's averaging 44 points a game and giving up 19 points a game. That's actually only good for second in the conference behind Mountain Home in each of those 2 categories. Van Buren has 4th in both at 36.4 points a game and giving up 26.9, and which is huge coming from where we've come from. So before we get into the Van Buren defense, let's talk about this Greenwood offense. It's eye-popping when you watch the film. It's a defensive coordinator nightmare. I don't know what you're supposed to do. What do you think the best battle plan is to stop this multifaceted offense?
Well, I talked about what it starts with for the Van Buren offense as far as the line is concerned. With Greenwood, it starts with Kane Archer, their quarterback. If you've been around the River Valley, you pay attention to high school football at all, you have heard his name. And I know people that either root against or they have family members or they root for another team. I know they're probably tired of hearing that name. But honestly, he's very good. He's very good with his throws. He doesn't really miss receivers. And he can make any throw. He can make an outside shoulder, put it on the dime at the corner of the end zone, or he can float a 40-yarder over the shoulder of a defender and put it in the basket. Yeah. So he can make those throws. The other side of that is if you put a lot of pressure on him, he can run the ball. He is probably the best running back, if you want to put it that way, that's in their backfield. And that's not to take any away from the talent that's there. But he is that good, but I'm sure our coaches have a plan, and if you look at it from the standpoint of what that plan is, how good, honestly, have our coaches been to make the changes that they've had to make? When you looked at the defense early on and you're like, man, this has got to get better. Well, guess what? You give up, 17 points in 2 games, and if you look at that at the average over those first games, that's a huge difference. And you've got to give that to coaching because the personnel hasn't changed. They've changed the way they've approached the game plan.
It's really been incredible to go from giving up 29, 52, 48, and 52 in the first 4 games, 0, 7, and 10 in the next 3. Yeah. And it's not like those are scrubs. If Siloam's having a tough year, but Lake Hamilton is potent. Greenwood certainly held them down, but they'll do that. Southside showed last week that they have talent. But anytime you shut out a conference opponent or hold somebody to 7 points, your defense has just come so far. We're so happy for Coach Haynes because what's impressive about him to me is the fact that he just stayed true to his identity. When we were meeting with them after the 4th week, there was no panic from him. No. It was just we got to execute and maybe adjust where we put a player or 2, but I just couldn't be happier for him and the whole team.
And I went down to the field after the game against Lake Hamilton, and I said, Coach, if I told you you were going to hold them scoreless by halftime, would you have believed me? He goes, absolutely. Yes, I would. And that's the mentality that he has. Yeah. And he did. He set it in motion, watched his kids perform and do and execute his game plan and Coach Mo's game plan. and boom, here we are.
Yeah. Here's who to watch for on the Greenwood offense. There's a whole lot of them. What makes this offense so hard to defend is that Kane Archer gets the ball all over the field. The bad news for the Pointers is that Greenwood's back to healthy at wide receiver, which they haven't been all year. They've got Cooper Bland, who will wear number 1. They've got Champ Davis, who wears number 2. Champ Davis pops when you watch this team. They'll put him in the backfield. They'll put him out at the X. They'll run him out of a slot. If he has the ball in his hands, it's not safe for the defense. And then they've got a true old-fashioned, you compared him to Travis Kelce, top tight end, number 88, Braden Rennick. There's literally, he can go anywhere with the ball and does so incredibly well. So the defense has their hands full.
88, like I said, he is kind of their Travis Kelce. He's the one who finds the area in the zone where he can sit down, just turn around, and Archer can get it to him. He can cut across the middle on a 7-yard drag route across the middle, and Archer gets it to him. So he's a guy, especially with the linebackers where they play, they're going to have to really pay attention to kind of where 88 is. But they're not a single threat. I mean, like you said, you talked about number 1, you talked about number 2, you talked about Cooper Bland, Champ Davis. Those are 2 really good football players.
And I didn't even bring up 13, who leads the team in yards and receptions from the time the 1 and 2 were out injured. So
right. And so they've got the ability at the skill positions. They're big up front. They do a pretty good job of protecting Kane Archer. But the key for our defense tonight is keep them in front.
Yeah.
There are 2 things. Keep everybody in front of you. For the defensive backs, keep them in front of you. The second and most important is first contact is a tackle. If we let them break tackles, and they can create and they can make problems for the defense. So, and that's something that we've done the last 2 weeks is first contact usually is a tackle, or there's 3 or 4 Van Buren pointers on top of the player.
Yeah, really good. We'll close up the Greenwood conversation with this. Kane Archer comes in, averaging 260 yards a game, a staggering 75% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns and 4 picks. And that's been the growth for him. If you watched back when he was a sophomore, there was a little bit of hero ball at times, forcing throws that didn't need to be forced. And if you watched the bit with him and DJ Williams in that 20-minute interview this week, what he said is happening on the field. He's taken the 0 to 20-yard passes and trusting the offense, and it's really a thing of beauty except when you're playing against them. Hayden Williford, let's shift to Van Buren. Hayden Williford comes in averaging 245 yards a game, and that's a big dip after a really tough game last week against Southside. 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's really taken great care of the ball in the last few games. What have you seen from Hayden that you just love as a quarterback?
I love the fact that he's making really good decisions back there. He is not forcing passes like he seemed to start early on in the season, where he was making passes into a couple double coverage situations, caused himself to get a pick. He's throwing the ball away, or he's deciding, you know what, I can make 5, 6, 8 yards. He's made some last week against Southside. He made some amazing scrambles.
Yes,
he put us in some great positions because of his ability, and so he is doing. And I said it last week during the game, his maturity level as a quarterback is just elevated.
Incredible.
Over the last 5 games.
What's fun, too, we went back last week, and during the broadcast, I even commented on that 3rd down conversion that he got with his feet. That the fact is he had no business getting that 3rd down, and somehow he wouldn't let it. We commented that he runs like Baker Mayfield. Caught him after the game, and he said, well, I'll take that as a compliment because he's my favorite player. He's why I wear number 6. I said, well, that's funny because you've literally learned to imitate his running style. Also, it's his birthday, so hopefully for Hayden this turns out to be a birthday he will never forget.
That would be great.
The running game's been anchored by Hayden Christenberry. Tim, he's averaging almost 140 yards a game, good for 11th in the state. What makes this running game work?
Well, I'll be the broken record. It's that offensive line. You have an offensive line that is getting a push. They're making openings in that front line. And Hayden Christenberry again, talking about Williford as the quarterback, Hayden Christenberry is doing the same kind of maturity as a running back. Watching him hit holes early, we were impressed against Alma. We were impressed against Silo and even against Greenbrier. He was hitting holes. But now, if you look at it, his football IQ has really increased. He's gone from hitting the hole to taking his time, maybe. There's sometimes you got to hit the hole.
Yep.
It's the way the play's designed, and if it's there, take it. But there's sometimes he's slow. He's taking a second. He's following his blockers. He'll slow his cadence down, and then boom, he's gone. And that's a mature running back. And as a sophomore, impressive, and that's the difference.
Guys getting 5.5 yards a carry. That's an offensive coordinator's dream. The story this year so far, by the way, Hayden Christenberry is 24 yards away from breaking 1,000 yards. He'll be the first sophomore in Van Buren history to ever do that. So as long as he doesn't get injured, that'll happen. Another player that's having a freak kind of a year is Austin Riggs. He's still number one in the state, averaging 132 yards a game and almost 20 yards a completion. Just absurd numbers for yards after catch. We're out of things to say about Austin Riggs. Southside last week committed to we will not get beat by number 10. And so what happened? They made number 10 throw a deep ball that ended up being the defining point in that ball game.
Yeah.
But he still found a way to be a contributing part of that win, even though they were double and triple teaming all night.
And, we can say what we did about Kane Archer on the Greenwood side of the football, but you know what? We can say the same thing about Austin Riggs on the Van Buren side of the ball. This is a kid that's going to play at the next level.
Yeah.
He has got the skills. He has shown that. When you play quarterback, you get a ton of accolades. Well, Austin's getting plenty of accolades, but he's a wide receiver. He is a tough kid who goes out and finds a way to make yards after the catch. We can look at all of his yardage, we can look at all of his catches, but I'll tell you, if you've been to a football game, the ball gets to him at 5 yards down the field, and he'll turn it into a 25-yard run, or he'll turn it into a touchdown.
All right, at this point, we're going to turn over to the public address announcer for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem. 8 minutes to kickoff. For Tim Malone, I'm Jay Baker. This is Pointer Media. We're going to let you hear the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Is Cadet Noah Brown, assisted by Mercy Sanders, Bella Farmer, Parker Greenway, Yadel Garcia, and Aiden Larson. Please join us now for a moment of silence. Thank you. And now, our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Performing tonight's national anthem is Greenwood High School junior Claire Holland. Claire is also a member of our varsity dance team. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, Satan, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts
Outstanding. Claire Holland, Greenwood High School student with the national anthem. I'm so impressed, Tim, with a high school student who has the intestinal fortitude to sing a very difficult song, the national anthem, in front of everybody with nothing but their voice. So
That's
kudos
awesome.
to that young lady. Great fireworks show that scared about half of our fans to death right in the middle of that. Tim, this series is actually Van Buren's ahead in this series, 14-11. However, with that caveat, they haven't won against Greenwood since 1990. That's been 7 matchups, and Greenwood's won the last 7. We talked a lot about this. The coaching staff has to balance that this is a big game, and that's okay, with you can come in here and win this game. How do you handle that as a coaching staff?
You know, we've talked about the X's and O's. We've talked about what the offense needs to do, what the defense needs to do. But what you have to do is come in here and say, because they have a G on their helmet, don't be intimidated by that mystique. Sure, do they have certain accolades? Do they have state championships? Yes, but you know what? That's something, like I said earlier, they build towards, and that's something Van Buren is working to build towards. And we're in a position that we've never been in before.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time, since '96. So the key is to find a way to get your kids to say, they put their pants on one leg at a time. I know that that's a cliche, but you have to make them understand you can play with these guys, and not only that, you can beat them.
Yeah. The last 5 years have not gone real well. The last 3 years, Van Buren's given up more than 60 points to this team. So, like most of our conference, I mean, it's not anything unusual, but certainly going to have to get that number down. Nobody's under the impression that you're going to hold Greenwood down to 7 points, but you're going to have to keep that number down. What do you anticipate if there's a magic number and Van Buren doesn't turn the ball over tonight? What do you think it takes to win this game?
I think it takes at least 35 points to probably win this game. I think our defense is going to play well. I look forward to seeing how they perform, especially with the confidence and the abilities and the way they played the last 2 weeks against Lake Hamilton and Southside. And the reason I point those two out is because they were low scoring, because the defense kept it that way, but they played to a level that they hadn't before, and they maintained it.
Yeah. The captains are getting ready to go to the coin flip for Van Buren. It's the same 4 captains: Brady Perkins, Jace Ponder, Antoine Cooper, and Austin Riggs. I can't see the numbers very well on these Greenwood jerseys, and that may be a bit of a problem tonight. So we will do our best. I see Kane Archer. He wears number 8. I see number 2. That's Champ Davis, who we told you about in the pregame is going to be a problem. Number 49, Cody Johnson, the big 6'4", 240-pound defensive end. And number 68, Cody Taylor. He's a 6'3", 305-pound offensive lineman. He may be that left tackle. I believe he is. Their left tackle has more stars on his helmet, and he must be elite. You can tell by a helmet how good a teammate they are and how good a player they are, and his is decorated.
Right. And you don't have a quarterback at the level that Archer is, that you don't have an offensive line that can block for him. I mean, that just happens. And the same thing, Hayden Williford is really moving into that conversation and that company, and that goes down to the offensive line giving him time.
So Van Buren's going to receive. I couldn't tell if they won the coin toss and deferred, but Van Buren will receive. Here's what's at stake tonight. In the 6A West, Greenwood and Van Buren sit atop, tied at 4-0 in the conference. Right behind those two are Mountain Home and Shiloh Christian at 3-1. As we've mentioned, Van Buren's last 3 games are an absolute gauntlet. If you're being realistic, you hope to get 1, maybe 2 of them. If this is going to be the most special season ever, you take all 3 of them, and it's going to be fantastic. Greenwood still has Southside, and they finish at Mountain Home, who is the other elite team. Mountain Home's number 1 in scoring, number 1 in scoring defense in this conference. So there's a lot of football to be played. What we know is that you get to watch playoff football in Van Buren in about 4 weeks, and that is going to be so exciting.
And what makes this one even bigger is that more than likely the winner of this game will probably get a bye in the first round.
Yes.
That's huge. that puts you a long way into the playoff hunt.
That when Coach said I would much rather be playing the weekend after Thanksgiving than just be celebrating making the playoffs, that's the road to get there. Get you a bye, and that changes things a lot.
And coming into this, like you said, this is a gauntlet. But we're going to start tonight, and it's Greenwood, and not looking past that.
That's right.
Now.
All you can do is play Greenwood tonight. That's it. A couple changes you'll see tonight. We've been told you can expect to see Austin Riggs handling some punt returning duties. Back for the kickoff, Blaine Pruitt, Teray Wilford. We saw the game last week, very odd. Southside chose to kick to Teray Wilford every time, and it didn't go well for them, as the whole world could have told them it wouldn't have. Hopefully Greenwood does the same thing. We've been told that Greenwood's kicker is much like ours. Be a lot of touchbacks tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I'm looking forward to Teray Wilford getting his hands on the ball more tonight than he has in the last couple of weeks, because I think he is an absolute game changer with his speed.
Landon Franklin with the kick, and that will be fielded. Nope, it'll go in the end zone. Good decision by Teray, and Van Buren will start at their own 20. We're playing Thursday night 6A West football for a chance to hold first place in the conference by yourself. At the end of this night, somebody will be in first place, 5-0.
Exciting night, exciting to be a part of this, Jay. I'm glad we get to be just a tiny part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep, what an honor. All right, one injury of note. For Van Buren, Philip Steele is out. It looks like they're bringing in Kingsley Cook to replace him, the sophomore who's very big. Hayden Christenberry first on the run. Difficult to see from the angle we're at what the mark is, but looks like he got 2 or 3 there.
Yeah, he made a good cut to the outside. He got some good blocking, but there was good pursuit from the inside. I think we can see from the outset.
Marked him up from the 23.
Hard. They're going to work hard to establish that run.
Williford drops. He looks left, hits a quick out to Austin Riggs. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Pointers.
Greenwood's coming out with a 3-man front, 1 down lineman. They played different fronts against both Shiloh and Lake Hamilton, but they'll show 3, but they'll typically have 4 coming.
So Williford has trips to his right, Teray Wilford by himself out to the left, and Hayden Christenberry just to his right. Shotgun snap, he gets the out, and that's tipped by a Greenwood Bulldog, and it'll be 3 and out for the Pointers on the first possession.
He had him open, it just got tipped. I think that would have been completed had it not gotten tipped. It was a good pass. He had good protection. So the positives on that drive, we don't like the fact that it went 3 and out, but Hayden Christenberry got a few yards on that first run, and then Williford had the protection to be able to throw the ball.
Manning Dotson back to punt. Good protection, good punt.
Good punt.
Back to the 37-yard line. That's Champ Davis, and he's taken down at the 40. Good coverage by the punt team.
They'll start off with a good field position at the 40-yard line. It was a good punt. Now it's time for the defense to go to work.
Champ Davis is who you're going to want to watch for. When he gets his ball in the hands, you kind of hold your breath. 11:13 to play in the third quarter. We'll get our first look at this Bulldog offense. They'll start with 2 in the backfield, 3 wide outs. They'll send the tight end in motion. Archer's going to hand off, going to go over the right side, and that is a big start. Number 5, that's Wesley Raggio, who had a huge game against Shiloh Christian early in the year. He gets the ball down to the 46-yard line, 16-yard gain on first down.
Donovan Akins on that tackle. They want to go fast tonight, and it looks like they want to work on the run.
Fake handoff, quick screen, good coverage out there. We'll get a number to you. I think I saw 17. Jalen Brown on the tackle. Great defense on that screen.
And that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame, Jay, was make that first contact and make it count, and that was a great job by Brown.
So 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12, 5 wide. Kane Archer will keep this. He runs up the middle. He gets hit by a couple players. I see Charlie Vaughn, and somebody came up from the secondary.
Big 3rd down here. I think they're probably in 4-down territory, but let's stuff them here on 3rd down. Make them think about it.
3rd and 8. Excuse me, 3rd and 5. Kane Archer with trips to his left. Sends his tight end into motion. Looks left, quick out. That's that other running back, Mario Dunbar. They've got an elite backfield, and Mario Dunbar catches the first down pass.
And that's something against Archer you can't do. You cannot give these receivers too much space because he will complete the pass even in a tight area.
Yeah. Really good with the quick outs, this Greenwood offense is. Archer takes the shotgun snap. He's going to throw one, back shoulder throw down to the goal line. Gets down to the 1.
He dropped that football.
That's called a catch.
That official didn't follow him all the way through to finish the catch because he dropped it.
That was Cooper Bland. 1st and goal from the 1 for the Bulldogs. 29-yard completion. Kane Archer will keep it. The team's leading rusher gets another
rushing touchdown.
Did they? I never saw arms go up. There we go.
Yeah,
now we did. They shot the fireworks a little prematurely, but it ended up being a touchdown for Kane Archer. And with 9:22 to play, Greenwood gets on the board first.
A little frustrating, Jay, on that pass completion. He just didn't follow the ball all the way to the ground, and it was not a completed catch because he took the ball and the ball came out when he hit the ground, and that's not a completed catch. Unfortunately,
extra point is up, good, and Greenwood takes a 7-0 lead with 9:22 to play in the first quarter. 6-play drive that started at the 46-yard line. Took a little under 2 minutes, like you said. These guys go quick.
Yeah, they're quick strike. And a good job on the coverage on there. They had one big play. He completed the pass, and the coverage was good. It was right there, but Archer was able to put it right on the money.
So the offense will get another chance after this kickoff and really needs to take advantage of this opportunity.
This is where the offense can shine. They can get the ball here. They can settle down, settle the whole game, settle the defense down, take the ball, move it down the field, and do it methodically. And the first touchdown by Greenwood doesn't end the game by any stretch.
Kickoff fielded at the 8. Blaine Pruitt gets a big opening. He's going down the right side, gets across the 50 and all the way down to the 40-yard line. So great starting field position with 9:11 to play.
That's the way to pull the momentum back. Come back, you can come in as a special teams player, and you make a special play. So if you want to change it, that's the way to get started. Do it on the kickoff.
It's going to take big plays like that from special teams, and couldn't be happier for Blaine Pruitt on that. It's had a couple ups and downs in the punt return game, and he's been elite, though, when it comes to kick return all year.
He really has. He has had some big returns. You know, we've all been excited to watch Teray Wilford with his speed, but I'll tell you what, Blaine Pruitt has done a great job back there fielding the kickoff.
Wilford hands the ball off to Christenberry. He's met at the line. He got at 1 yard up to the 39.
That line closed down pretty quick on him. And they're moving him off the ball pretty good, and he's getting a good pop in there quick. But obviously, they've watched film. They know what they're going to get involved with Hayden Christenberry, and they're going to do their best to stop him at the line.
Definitely the biggest defensive line we've faced all year. 2nd and 9, loaded backfield. He sends Teray Wilford in motion, gives him the quick shovel pass, and Teray Wilford does Teray Wilford things Gets down to the 29 for a first down.
Great setup, good blocking. They're expecting the Hayden Christenberry run. He comes around, little jet sweep, throw the ball forward. He's able to cut it up. He didn't take it around the end. He saw an opening, went up right up the middle.
Hand off to the right side over Hayden Christenberry, and he is met by a couple big boys, including number 49, Cody Johnson, who blows that one up at the line of scrimmage.
Greenwood's defensive line is get a little more penetration than what we've been used to this year. I think right now our guys need to get settled in, find a way to move some of those big bodies.
Kingsley Cook out wide. Carter Kelly on the same side with him. Hayden Williford gets the play call. Communicate to his sophomore tailback, who he'll hand the ball off to, and Greenwood was ready for it, but he did push ahead for a couple yards up to the 26-yard line.
Third down, got about 7 yards to go. But I'll tell you this, I can say with pretty much certainty, this is 4-down territory for the Players.
Although we did see that gigantic leg on Derek Kelly last week on that 57-yard field goal attempt. Williford with lots of time, and he gets the ball out to Riggs, who has a beautiful catch at the 13-yard line, and that's a pointer first down.
Right at the sticks, smart play. You come down, you take what the defense gives you. They're going to give you stuff in front. They're going to give you the crossing patterns. They're going to give you the outs. They're going to be really guarded on anything down the field. But right now, the pointers are in a spot. Anything across the middle can be hit.
They're not defending Riggs the way Southside did for sure. Looks like they're more playing straight up. Riggs started with a little short motion. Williford has time, and now he's in trouble. He's taken down in the backfield. That's Briar Hackler with the sack. And that's all the way back to the 22-yard line.
Hayden Williford's one of his biggest assets is he's patient. He takes his time. Against this defensive line tonight, I don't think he's going to have that luxury. He's got to be careful of plays like that.
A loss of 4 makes it 2nd and 14. Williford looks right. He's got time. He gets that ball out to Carter Kelly, who gets down to the 16-yard line. It'll be the 3rd and manageable.
Cut into that. Great out pattern. He's right there. Before he even makes his cut, Hayden Williford put the ball in the spot that he knew his receiver was going to be at. That's hard to defend, especially when they're playing man-to-man.
Van Buren held their 8th play of the drive, a little over 3 minutes off the clock so far. Williford looks left. He's being pushed to go right. He has to throw it to the back of the end zone, and Riggs almost came up with it, but just couldn't quite leap high enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That's one of those situations talking about him maturing as a quarterback. He put that where if anybody was going to catch it, it was going to be his receiver, Austin Riggs. It was not going to go the other way.
Manning Dotson will attempt the field goal. He'll be at the 24, so that'll be a 34-yard attempt.
The young man who missed the Arkansas State record by inches last week.
Well, that was Kelly, our long kicker.
Yeah, our long kicker.
But Manning has been incredibly effective this year. And he puts points on the board. That attempt is up and good. And with 5:40 to play in the first quarter, Van Buren's on the board, 7-3. So, Tim, as you talked about in the pregame, didn't get the touchdown, but you did take about 3.5 minutes off the clock, gave your defense a chance to rest. Yeah. What do we need to adjust to have better results on this second possession?
Well, I think the coaches are probably talking about how do we work and get pressure on Kane Archer? How do we – and you can't say anything about the coverage because, honestly, except for that one play on the out, it was kind of it wasn't a wheel route, but it was a flat route on the left side early on. It was a great catch, a good throw, but then the one down the field that made the difference, put them really close to the goal line, was really good coverage. It's just a great throw.
Yeah, it was a great throw. You can't blame the secondary on that.
No.
Sometimes good offense beats good defense, and that's what happened right there.
But the defense just has to come back into this with the confidence of what they've played with the last 2 weeks, knowing they can stop these guys.
Derek Kelly back to kickoff. He's been a touchback machine this year. And the Pointers will need that. Need to make Greenwood start from the 20, and not this time. That one's going to be fielded at the 5. Gets across the 20, and Greenwood's going to be starting from the 32-yard line.
Just checking the flags to see if we kind of wind out there that might be. No, they're laying straight down. The flags aren't blowing at all.
Our microphone tonight is placed directly in the middle of our fans, so we will do our best to catch anything that you might not like, but I can't promise you anything. Greenwood hands off over the right side to Raggio. He is met by a host of Pointers and gets up to the 36-yard line, gain of 4.
Good job closing down on that hole. He's reading that. Archer's reading that. He's reading the tackle actually now. He's trying to figure out if he's coming down or if he's going to pull it and take the ball and run with it himself.
Archer with split wideouts and Raggio in the backfield with him. Wesley Raggio. He's very short but very quick. He gave Shiloh Christian all kinds of problems. Archer's going to look to pass. He tucks it. He runs up the middle. He's got a first down, gets across the 45. It almost looked like he fumbled the ball, but I think I just was seeing things. Got to the 48. That's a first down.
And honestly, Jay, that's what makes him so dangerous. He's got the ability to pick you apart from the air, but if he doesn't like what he sees, your guys are out in coverage, he's tough to bring down.
It's a 12-yard gain, and then a beautiful out to number 2, Champ Davis. Up to the 45-yard line, 44-yard line.
You know, that's the dilemma as a linebacker, especially as a defensive back. You've got to cover your guy. You've got to stay with him. But then you see the quarterback taking off, and you start to peek.
A handoff to Raggio right there, and Vaughn was ready for him. Ball's at the 41. I guess they did not get the first down on the previous play. There's another one of those over-the-top throws, and that's Champ Davis. Really good tackling secondary by Tristan Ray.
That's just a good move. He made a good move. He made a cut to the inside and then took it off towards the pylon, and Archer hit him in stride.
Greenwood's got the ball at the 11. 3:55 to play in the first quarter. Archer's in trouble. Oh, he pitched that ball forward. That was a really good play. He looked like he was going to be sacked, and he did a quick pitch to 17 that ended up being an incomplete pass. That's a high IQ play right there, Tim.
Yeah, he knew he was going down. He had a receiver that was kind of tucked in to help with blocking, and as long as you throw it towards a receiver, you're not going to get the intentional ground.
So second down. 3:45 to play in the first quarter. Dunbar takes that ball, and he gets hit hard at the 6-yard line.
Good job by Jace Ponder to come in there, cut him down right at the line.
So third down, defense has a chance to get a stop here. Archer's in the backfield with Mario Dunbar. 4 wideouts. They send Benton Hosley in motion. Archer got that ball out, incomplete in the end zone, and Greenwood will have their first decision to make. Tim, Jace Ponder almost got to Kane Archer on that one.
He was putting pressure on him. Doesn't look like Archer's moving. Looks like they're going to stay on the football field and try to get this in the end zone.
So
Big
no
play.
Decision for Greenwood. They're just going to go for it. They didn't even hesitate. Big opportunity for the Pointer defense. And they almost got him to jump. I think they did. I think the hard snap worked, and that's going to be offsides on a first down.
And he's good at that. He did it several times against Shiloh. He'll do that hard count and get them to jump.
So fresh set of downs, I believe.
No, fourth down.
Oh, it's still fourth down. Okay, so half the distance did not give them the first down. So the Pointer defense has another opportunity to come up with the stop. Archer's going to keep it over the left side. We're waiting for a signal. He definitely got the first down. They're marking him short, though, of the touchdown. Okay. We'll see if they mark him short of the first down.
Huge point in the game last week against Southside in the second half. This defense stepped up, stopped them 4 straight downs inside the 7-yard line, a couple inside the 3-yard line. Let's watch them do it again.
So Archer's got a fresh set of downs from the 1, inside the 1, hands off to Dunbar, and he'll walk in pretty easily. Touchdown, Greenwood with 2:42 to play. And they'll jump up 13-3.
It's one of those situations, Jay, you've got to commit to something. They worked to get Archer shut down. Archer noticed what they were doing as far as closing down. He handed the ball off. Dunbar took it to the outside. Got the touchdown.
You have a lot of things you have to kill with this offense, so it's easier said than done. Extra point is up and good, and with 2:42 to play in the first quarter, Greenwood leads 14-3, and Van Buren will be looking to respond.
And the way they moved the ball the last time down the field, good, solid movement. Things were going well. Got down, stalled a little bit inside in the red zone. But this time, they can do the same thing, get the ball down, score a touchdown, still in this ball game.
We're aware of the scoreboard issues, and Lindsey Cottrell and the Pointer Media team are trying to resolve that for you. So hang in there with us. It's 14-3, not whatever your score showed a minute ago. Teray Wilford and Blaine Pruitt back to receive the kickoff, and Van Buren will look to move the ball down the field and pay this one off with a touchdown.
How about this time, instead of getting the ball to the 40, let's just cross the end zone.
Yeah, special teams touchdown is well in order right now. Landon Franklin back to kick. And that'll be fieldable or out of bounds, one or the other. Out of bounds, so the Pointers will still get good starting field position.
35-yard line.
Now they've had good, other than that first touchback, they've started at the Greenwood 40 and their own 35 now, so chance to do something.
It's a good place to start, 35. It's way better than kicking into the end zone and having to do it at the 20. Okay, I guess they had somebody off sides as well. Well, no, I'm sorry. That's the signal he was given for the out-of-bounds kick.
So starting at the 35-yard line, 2 wideouts to his left, 2 to the right. Hayden Christenberry just to his right. He'll hand off to Christenberry, who'll cut up the middle. Nice big hole, and he gets up to the 41, the 40-yard line.
Good hole, good opening, and Christenberry did the rest from there, and then number 34 for Greenwood. He came up, got a little bit of Hayden Christenberry's thigh. Didn't feel too good.
Yeah, Jen Syedeth, he's been getting his name called a lot this year. He's a key part of this defense. Another handoff to Christenberry over the right side. Good ankle tackle by Greenwood. He gets up to the 39. It'll be 3rd and short.
Trying to establish the run. Again, it's 14-3. There's no panic on that sideline. Coaches know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get this run game established. We've got a lot of weapons, and we want to keep that ball for a long time and keep it out of the hands of Greenwood. 3rd
straight play to Christenberry, and Greenwood blew this one up. He was actually from the 44, and he'll lose a couple. It'll be 4th down from the 42-yard line.
That's one of those, they just got good penetration, and I think You don't want to give Greenwood the ball this deep into your own territory, even though it is the 42-yard line. I think the coach is going to punt this one.
So with about a minute 20 to play, Van Buren brings on the punt team. 3 straight runs, looking promising, but Greenwood blew up the third down play.
I think 4th and 1, you might have seen us go for it. I think this is just a little bit too much of an ask.
Good crowd for a Thursday night game. Perfect weather.
It
And
looks
we've
like,
got a
I'm
whistle.
telling you, looking down both directions on the visitor sideline, Van Buren is supporting this team really well on this road game to Greenwood.
Maybe a delay game. I'm not sure what was called there. It cost them 5 yards, though.
I think it was a delay, Jay.
Number 2, Champ Davis, back to return for the Bulldogs.
So now they'll be punt from the 37-yard line. Dotson has his feed at the 22. Low snap. Dotson takes care of it. Good punt all the way down inside the 20, and Van Buren's going to cover it so well, and that ball's going to end up down at the 3-yard line.
Great job.
Great job by the special teams unit to flip the field.
That was honestly huge. You've got to punt the ball, get the ball down there, down it inside the 5-yard line, make this team go as far as they have to go. This defense coming out there, seeing they're stuck right behind the end zone's right behind them, gives you a little bit more pump up.
So Greenwood's got 97 yards to go. Van Buren's looking for a safety here. Probably in attack mode. See if he can get in that backfield with 33 seconds to play in the first quarter. A little false start by the Bulldogs will help, and that'll push it back another 1.5 yards.
Doesn't seem like much, but when you get close to the end zone, 1.5 yards can be a lot.
Yeah, now it's on the 1. Big opportunity for this defense to have a defining moment in the game here. Archer hands off over the left side, a big mass of humanity, and he got up to the 4-yard line.
Great job coming there, great penetration. And Darren Mays came up, made the initial pop, and then you had an entire host of white jerseys coming in there and helping him out.
Darren Mays has absolutely exploded in the last 2 weeks for this defense. Well, Kane Archer is good with that hard count.
Yeah, and our defense did a good job.
So that's going to bring the first quarter to an end. Greenwood will face second down when we come back from their own 2-yard line. And we'll send you to this message from the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith. All right, this is Pointer Media on behalf of Lindsey Cottrell. I don't know why I struggle with her name. Lindsey Cottrell, Josh Smith, Stephen Copeland, Austin Myers, and Tim Malone. I'm Jay Baker, and we are excited to bring you Thursday Night Football with a ton on the line. Greenwood leads this one 14-3. They're facing second and 10 from their own 3.
Yeah, they didn't get much on that first carry. He was swarmed under by that dog defense.
Again, just a huge opportunity for this defense, and Greenwood's probably seen it the same way. Huge opportunity on offense. A big moment in the game, even though it's early. Archer hands it off. No, he keeps it. He goes over to the left,
outside.
and they did a great job containing him defensively. He still got it up to about the 6-7 yard line is where they spotted him. So it'll be third down.
Big third down here. This is one I can't imagine even if they've got a yard to go, that they would go for it on 4th down. So this 3rd down, honestly, pretty huge right now at this point.
3rd and 6 for the Pointer defense. Good containment on an Archer on the 2nd down play. He tries to give it the hard count about every play. You got to be ready for that. Looks over the field. He looks right. He's got time. He makes a throw. Good coverage out there. It's a completion, but I tell you, Donovan Akins almost couldn't have covered that better. It's just a good ball.
He put it right in his receiver's gut. Put it right in the numbers. And they were able to get the first down. But again, like you said, Jay, that was really good coverage. You can't interfere with the guy.
Archer throws a quick tunnel screen out to the left, and that's trouble. Cooper Bland is going to take this one to the house. That's from the 12, so about an 88-yard touchdown to Cooper Bland.
That was one, Jay, they saw something in the defense. He was able to read it right off the snap. He cut inside right between 2 defenders, and once he split them, it was a house call.
Yeah. He just had the one man to beat. He did it. Well executed play. And Greenwood leads 20-3 with 11:24 to play in the first quarter. We've got whistles. Now up and good. So 21-3. Van Buren's got to stop the bleeding. Need a long, sustained touchdown drive here. At least a long drive. Give the defense a breather.
Yep. And I mean, points is mandatory here. We got to get down there. We need a score touchdown really pretty soon. Put some points on this book. But here's the thing. If you look back this year, we've gotten behind in a couple of games, but we've been able to really push it forward and been able to get some points on the board and make the games much closer than when anybody thought they would be early in the game.
Yep. Elsewhere in action tonight, the Van Buren Pointer volleyball team is finishing off the regular season. They are in Alma for the final Battle of the Bone. They are in the state playoffs that begin Monday. They'll know at the end of the night what their seed is. It's somewhere between 2 and 4. I believe they're almost locked into the 4 seed, but they'll be playing in Marion Monday in the state tournament. So go support your Lady Pointers. Kickoff is going to be fielded by Teray Wilford from the 5-yard line. He gets up across the 20, makes a man miss. Almost made a second man miss, and they'll mark him down at the 28-yard line. Good field position again, good kick return.
He's so quick that it's typically a shoestring tackle on that young man. We haven't ever seen. He's a hard guy to get a solid hit on because he's just so quick and maneuverable.
Yep. It's still shocking that they continue to. I don't know if it's they can't get the touchback or if it's intentional. I just don't understand the philosophy.
Yeah.
But well, we'll take it.
They may have been thinking, hey, Blaine Pruitt almost took it back on us. Let's kick it to the other guy.
Yeah. 5 wide for Hayden Williford. He looks over the defense and gets the snap, looks out to his right, a quick out to Hayden Christenberry, and it goes right off of his hands. Second down.
That's just one of those you're trying to use the pass to get 3, 4, 5 yards. It looks like a run on the stat book, but it's just something to try to open the offense up.
Split wide outs. Hayden Christenberry to the left of Hayden Williford. Austin Riggs comes in a short motion. Williford looks left. He's running out of time. He's going to have to do something. He throws it away. Actually, Kingsley Cook had an opportunity at that. That was a great throwaway, Tim. There was actually a slight chance at a play there.
That was one of those we talk about trying to put it where only your guy can get it. And he put it over his outside shoulder, high. But if anybody was going to get it, it was going to be him.
3rd and 10 for the Pointers. Trips out to the left. Kingsley Cook by himself out to the right. Hayden Williford gave it a hard count, and Greenwood stayed home. 10 seconds on the play clock. 11:03 to play in the second quarter. He's going to look right, fake that way, get a quick screen out to Austin Riggs, and Greenwood's defense absolutely lambasted him. And they'll force the punt.
Yeah, that was one of those. They probably saw it on film. Look, Williford did a good job looking away, making him think he was going the other direction. Then he goes to Riggs, trying to get it to your playmaker to the outside, see if he can do something with the football. And the Greenwood Bulldogs had it sniffed out.
So 2 catches for 4 yards for Austin Riggs so far. Greenwood defense doing a pretty good job of keeping things tight. Manning Dotson into punt.
4 seconds, 3. There we go, got it off. Good punt.
Fair catch called for by Champ Davis at the 35-yard line, and that's where Greenwood will begin with 10:07 to play.
Special teams have done a good job so far. Getting them back on their side of the field. That was a good punt. Now it's just time the defense could step up, see if we can stuff them, keep them out of the end zone.
It feels like a big possession, Tim. 24-28-3 is a big hole against an offense this potent. So definitely need to get these guys off the field. Archer with a quick shot over the middle. Good gang tackling, but not before he got 8 yards on that, up to the 43-yard line.
Those are really tough to cover. You've got a quarterback, it's a 2-step drop, or actually, because he's in shotgun, he didn't have to step back at all. He's able to just fire the ball in there. It's a quick 8-yard throw.
Archer surveyed the defense. He has a lot of time, but he's mad. He fumbled
out.
the ball, and Van Buren falls on the ball. That's the break they needed. Fumble by Kane Archer, and Van Buren will take over at the 49-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Coop, he's the guy who forced that fumble. You got to give it to him. Antoine Cooper was able to get in, knock the ball loose. That's exactly what Van Buren needs right now. Perfect time to get a turnover like that. And I will say, if Archer's got an Achilles heel, he can get hit. He will turn the ball over from time to time.
So good defense. They converged on him, and somebody knocked that ball loose. So trips to the right of Hayden Williford. Hayden Christenberry behind him out of the pistol, and Christenberry will go over the right side, and Greenwood, another good stop at the line. No gain on that play.
We had some early success by Hayden Christenberry, popping it in there. Right now, they're stuffing us. We're not getting them moved off the line. They're able to get in there with their size, get a stop, room to maneuver.
He has 8 carries for 14 yards so far. Van Buren has 2 wideouts to the left, plus the big tight end. Fakes the handoff to Christenberry, boots out to the right to Carter Kelly, who gets down to the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short.
Jay, that's something we talked about early on today, was the coaches making adjustments mid-game to decide, can we stay in the pocket or do we need to roll out? And that time, the rollout helped a ton, gave him time, and he was able to find Carter Kelly.
Hayden Williford communicates to the line, changes the protection. 12 seconds on the play clock, no problem. He's under a little pressure, but a good out to Austin Riggs, down to the 31. And he breaks a few tackles and gets it inside the 30. He'll be marked all the way down to the 27-yard line. Great play.
Now that's the Van Buren offense we have grown accustomed to. And we have been watching week after week, making those kind of plays, getting the ball to Riggs, him making some tackles, some people miss, and getting down the field for extra yardage.
14-yard completion and a fresh set of downs for the Pointers. Hand off to Hayden Christenberry over the left side. And I'll tell you what, Greenwood's defense seems to have chosen that we're not going to let you beat us with the run game. There just hasn't been much there tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things that the coaches continue to want to try to – they want it to be successful, because that's what you need to keep the other offense off the football field. You need to churn some of this yardage out.
2nd and 9 from 26. Quick flip to Teray Wilford, who breaks it outside. He'll have a first down and then some. Great run by Teray Wilford. Great play design.
Jay, you and I talked a bit on the way over tonight that it was time to really see Teray Wilford. Oh, did we have a penalty?
We missed a penalty.
Oh,
So that'll be taken back. 20-yard completion is going to be set back. We'll see.
Holding. Well, that's a frustrating part of the game. You see him break one off, finally get us down. It would have been 1st and goal. Again, Teray Wilford, he can be a playmaker too. I was excited to see the coaches get him involved right now. Get the ball in his hands on that quick toss sweep.
Yeah, that's a great way to use him. He's got elite track speed. Put it to work. Williford with the out to Riggs and just a little bit overthrown. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down, 13.
3rd down. Actually,
Third
Jim,
down.
we're at 3rd down.
Big play for the Pointer offense here. Need to cut into that 13 yards. You don't have to get it all here because you're probably going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, I think no doubt we're in fourth down territory.
Trips to the left. Oh, trouble coming. Williford does a good job escaping the trouble. Throws it deep, but overthrows his target, Carter Kelly. So good job getting away from trouble. Just had to put a little too much juice on that ball.
Kelly was there. He had 3 or 4 steps. It was looking good. But Hayden Williford, well, he was on the run to his right. That's a tough throw, honestly. You got to give him.
Well, and he's running for his life. Cody
was.
Johnson had bad intentions. And he was coming untouched.
We're going to have to move it a little bit. He had to come over, and he had got some sort of equipment adjustment on the sideline and then had to get back out there, and now we're at 4 seconds. They called timeout.
Van Buren takes the timeout with 7 minutes to play. Trailing 21-3, going to go for it on 4th and 14. Ball sits at the 31-yard line.
Jay, I was looking down that, and he came sprinting off the field to the equipment area. One of the coaches met him. I'm not sure. I was trying to see if it was a mouthpiece or chin strap. I couldn't really tell what the problem was.
Big moment in the game. It's not the end of the game by any means if you don't get it here.
No way.
But you'd sure like to come up with this and cut into that 21-3 lead.
Given the defense a little bit more time to rest, been able to get the ball, move down the field after that turnover, it would really be nice to be able to pay off on that turnover.
Yeah. And you've got a kicker with the leg to kick from here, but it just feels like the coach saying field goals aren't going to win this game.
Correct. I think this is one that at this point in the game, getting the turnover, trying to hold the momentum.
Williford will have 3 out to his left. Kingsley Cook out to his right. Takes the shotgun snap. Has a little bit of time, and he is going to get eaten up in the backfield by big number 35. That's Jaden Foster. Turnover on downs, and that sack really helps the Greenwood starting field position.
That's just one Hayden's got to learn to let go. You got 4th down. You got a long way to go. Give your guys a chance. Give them a chance to make a play. And that's just, again, one of his biggest assets is to be able to look the field over, make a decision, and get the ball to where he wants it to go.
Kane Archer rolls out to his right, throws a great pass on the out to Champ Davis. That'll be a Greenwood first down. They'll mark it down to the 47-yard line. 17 yards on first down.
Just one of those pitch and catch.
Going to come the other way, and this one's to Cooper Bland, and he gets down inside the 40 to the 38 or 39-yard line. They'll spot at 39.
It's just giving them a ton of space. They're worried about anybody getting behind them, and Archer's taking no time to throw the ball out there, hitting his receivers.
So
But
Kane Archer comes up and communicates to the offensive line, surveys the defense, sends a man in motion, and he'll roll out to the right. He looks for the deep ball, and he's got a man in his own zip code, and he's got him. That's Champ Davis. We saw that against Lake Hamilton on the video a lot last week, hoping that it wouldn't be effective tonight, but same play that they were effective with last week.
That's just one of those blown coverage plays. The guys get pulled inside. He makes a great move. Nobody goes with him, and he's wide open.
So Champ Davis gets his first touchdown of the night, 39-yard completion. And Greenwood leads 27-3 with 5 minutes and 36 seconds to play. Extra point is up and good. 28-3, 5:36 to play in the first half. Van Buren's got some work to do.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a ton of running the ball from this point, at least till the half. It's just something that the offense couldn't get established, and it's time to get back in the ball game, so we'll probably see a lot more of the ball in the air. Something Hayden Williford's got to do is he can't take the kind of time he's used to because he's not going to get it tonight. He's got to get rid of the ball, and I know he's going to have to take some chances, and he's worked hard not to take chances. He's just in that position right now.
Yeah, and this is a dream situation if you're a defensive lineman or a linebacker. When you know the team's going to be throwing a lot, you can pin your ears back and just go after the quarterback.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to stay very aware of what's going around him. I would expect Greenwood to send some exotic pressures and try to really set this game on its end.
Yeah, if you look at it the way it was done in the last couple of weeks when they were playing Lake Hamilton and then Shiloh Christian, they're all about getting the points up in the first half.
Blaine Pruitt fielded that one at the 4. He's going to get up to the 20, about the 19.5-yard line. We'll call it the 20. And that's where Van Buren will take over. 5:28 to play in the first half, trailing 28-3, needing to put a drive together. And as you said, probably looking for more pass plays. We mentioned that Austin Riggs has had a great year. He comes into this game 72 yards shy of 1,000.
Yeah, it's been a successful year as far as those boys are concerned. They've done a great job getting the ball, moved down the field, and now we need to see more of that.
He has 3 catches for 18 yards tonight. 4 wide outs for Hayden Williford. Shotgun snap. They'll hand it off to Christenberry over the right side, and Greenwood pops him hard at the 21.
Well, I was wrong. He said we're probably going to see the ball in the air some more, but the coaches know what they're doing way more than I do, and if that's what they see, then let's move it forward, and let's keep punching the ball in the middle. You know what? Pop them in the mouth. Keep moving the ball.
5 minutes to play. Williford looks right. He's got pressure again from Cody Johnson. He's going to tuck it. He's going to throw it away. Oh, Austin actually caught it, but he was out of bounds. Austin Riggs with a great athletic play to bring that ball down, but he was flying out of bounds. So incomplete pass, third down.
That was concerning a little bit. When I saw him come over here to the sideline, he hit the ground hard. He made such an effort. He got up in the air, trying to get that ball down, trying to make a play for his team, and that is tough. He's a tough kid because I'm telling you, he hit the ground hard.
4 wide outs. Hayden Christenberry in the backfield. You have to assume he's back there to help protect, and that's what he does. Williford is taken down in the backfield. Boy, I tell you what, we'll see what the number was who got to him, but he was back there quick, and that's a big sack on third down.
They're just all over him early, Jay. He doesn't have time to read much. He's got to find that one route and then take the chance to throw it, see if he can get it to him. Having 3 to 4 seconds to throw that football, it's not going to happen tonight.
He didn't have any time on that one. Briar Hackler was back there. Seemed like he was ready to take the snap.
It's a 1-2 count. It's a 1-2 count. He's got to let it go.
Dotson almost had that block. Greenwood's getting good pressure back there.
Another
Dotson,
good roll.
He fell. We were looking to see if they dropped the flag, and they didn't. Probably a good acting piece by Manning Dotson down there, trying to draw a penalty.
Yeah, that was good, though.
So Greenwood will take over at their own 41 with 4:11 to play in the first half with a 28-3 lead.
That was a good punt. The ball got down to the 40-yard line, got some good overspin.
Archer's got 2 tailbacks, 1 to each side now. That'll be Dunbar and Raggio. 3 wideouts. No, that was the tight end. I'm sorry. He'll send Rennick out. Quick out to Cooper Bland, who spins, and a good open field tackle. Tristan Ray.
I know they don't want to play tight because they don't want to lose them deep. But, man, these quick outs and this quick release is 5-7 yards every time. And it makes it rough on the defense.
Yeah, it's really difficult. You don't see a lot of teams at the high school level who are really accurate on the short game and the long game, and it's just hard to defend. Van Buren sends 4. Kane Archer has all kinds of time, and he slightly overthrew Benton Hosley for an incomplete pass on a 3rd down.
I will say on this, our defense tonight, we talked about it earlier, how they have to make that initial contact and then hit him and take him down right on that spot. They've done that tonight. Yeah. When they've been able to make the play, they have made the play right there at first contact.
The 3rd and about 4 or 5 for Greenwood from their own 47. 4 wide, tailback. He again surveys the defense. Looks to his right. He's got pressure from that side. And he escapes the pressure. What a great run. Made 2 or 3 guys miss. Cuts down to the left side. And he's going to take this one all the way to the house. A 53-yard touchdown run for Kane Archer.
That was just one where the defense was spread out all over the football field. If you don't get him when he decides to run, you've got receivers all the way down the field. You're spread out all the way across the field. You've got a couple guys that can make the tackle. If they don't make that play, he's gonna do that to you.
So 35-3 if they make this extra point. And they do. 3:17 to play in the first half. And Van Buren's in a gigantic hole now. Greenwood's probably thinking, let's get the ball back and get the sportsmanship rule imparted in the first half. And Van Buren's thinking, we got to get a score. Any kind of score, you've got to come up with points on this drive.
There's no doubt about it, and especially if you want to salvage anything, especially in this first half. Hey, let's take it down there. Don't give them any time left. Try to punch it in, get a touchdown, and go in with some positives. The negative side to that is Greenwood will get the ball to start the second half.
Yep. Going to have some breaks and going to have to make a few of those breaks. It's really I don't want to gush. We talked about our intentionality not to gush. Yeah. But plays like that are why the hype for Kane Archer is not overdone.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and I know folks are probably like, we're tired of hearing it. We're tired of hearing it. And you know what? This is his last year. So you don't have to hear about him anymore after this year. And I get it. Especially when you have to play him and you have to deal with the frustration of watching him do this, both running it and passing it. And that was just a really good run. It was a good athletic run. So at the very least, appreciate the athleticism that you're watching tonight. Not that you want to be on this side of the score. But
yeah, he was bottled up in the backfield and just found a little sliver to get through. Yeah. We watched play against Lake Hamilton as we were prepping that would look like he was playing a video game. Just hitting circle and square and jumping. And just ridiculous.
Yeah, same thing. The young man has skills, and that's why he's being recruited by so many top Division I programs.
He'll be playing at the University of Central Florida next year. He was recruited by Arkansas, Florida State, Louisville, Michigan, Missouri, Ole Miss, A&M, whole bunch of programs. Hand off to Hayden Christenberry over the left side. And once again, that Greenwood defense was ready for it. He didn't gain anything on that one.
They've just figured out the run at this point, Jay. There's not much we're going to get up that middle right now, especially with that defensive line. They're stuffing it pretty good.
He's up to 11 carries for 16 yards now. Williford looks left. He's got time. He gets it out to Teray Wilford, who makes a man miss, gets the ball up across the 30, and that'll be a Van Buren first down.
And that's what we've got to see more of, Jay. We've got to see more of that quick step, quick throw, get the ball to one of your playmakers, let them do their work. And that's just taking a page of what Greenwood's been doing tonight. They've been doing the same thing.
Yep. Teray Wilford, 2 catches for 21 yards now. Had a big one that was wiped off by a penalty. Hayden Christenberry pops that one up the middle, and he'll get it up to the 37-yard line. 6 yards on that carry.
That's good to see. Good to see a good pop in the running game. And again, it's like, why are you running the ball? Why are you running the ball? Pass the ball, pass the ball. But the thing is, you have to keep those defensive linemen honest and not just tee off and run after your quarterback.
Absolutely. And Hayden Christenberry is capable of a big play, just like the pass offense is. That's always driven me crazy when I hear teams or commentators say, well, we have to abandon the run. Well, if the run is effective, there's no reason to abandon it. You're not losing that much time to it, especially at the high school level.
Right. And you have to keep it established because you have to keep them honest. You have to keep those linebackers honest to stay up and not just fall back into coverage or blitz your quarterback, until he's bloody.
3rd and 4. Hayden Williford's got a little time. Now he's got to run. He's going to be taken down at the 32. Another sack for this Greenwood defense, and they'll call a timeout to try to score and do what we just talked about.
Yeah, Greenwood is a good tackling defense. We said what we did. They're not as strong on their defensive side as they have been in years past. Like I said, though, early on, that doesn't mean they're bad. That just means they're not quite as good as they were. But if you look at tonight, that was a sure-handed tackle. Hayden Williford will he'll look at that tape this week and he'll I should have dumped it. I should have done something with it, trying to get it to go, because now his team's in a 4th and 8. It's a tough position to be in, and especially being down as much as the Pointers are.
Well, and the average points against for Greenwood being 19.1 is a little deceptive because they front load their schedule with 7A West competition. They don't. Those first 3 weeks aren't kind of feel-good games for them. They're playing teams like Bentonville West and big powerhouses in the state, and they beat them all, and still are only giving up 19.1 points a game against even 7A West competition.
Yeah. I mean, Greenwood comes into the season and they go into each game the same way with the expectation that we can win this game no matter what.
They look like they're going to come after this punt. They've got 9 guys on the line. Now 2 will back off. Manning Dotson gets a clean handle, gets that kickoff. And that's going to bounce down to Champ Davis at the 24. And he explodes down the right side and gets up to the 39, carries a few guys over the 40. And Greenwood has 2 timeouts, and they've got the ball. We'll see where they end up marking it. I believe it's about the 42-yard line.
I really would love to see the defense be able to put a stop in here. Stay out of the sportsmanship rule. Keep it where it is at the half, and give themselves just some glimmer of hope as they walk into the locker room, something to be positive about. That's what these kids need.
End on a good note. Minute 27 to play from the 41-yard line. He's going to roll out to his left. He's looking deep. It wasn't there, so he dumps it off to Cooper Bland, who's brought down in the middle of the field by a couple players. 17 and 8. Jalen Brown.
Yep.
Tristan Ray.
Just a good job, again, of he completed the pass, but first contact, get him on the ground.
Rolls out to the right, had a lot of time, throws a perfect ball to the sideline. Receiver Champ Davis catches it, falls out of bounds, and I believe that stops the clock in high school.
Yep, it sure does. Yep.
That got down to the 36, another first down. Three wide out to the left, one to the right. Throws it over the middle. Immediately tackled at the 27, 28-yard line, and Greenwood will call a timeout, I think.
Yep, they sure did. Yeah, there's no doubt. I think they want to score. They want to get this score up. And
Couldn't see who caught that one, but another good ball. It's the example. I tell you, it's worth the watch, even if you're not a fan. The interview with DJ Williams that you and I watched was really informative, and it's just high-level quarterback talk to recognize all these stats about NFL and college numbers, how everybody loves a 70-yard ball, but most of the offense in college and the NFL is with 0 to 20.
Right. Yeah.
And as a young man, to be able to throw a 70-yard ball, but to recognize my job is to distribute it short and let the playmakers go do their job.
Exactly.
It takes some humility.
Yeah. And I think, he's shown that tonight. He's shown that all year long. But I think Hayden Williford is also one of those kids that is developing into that. And I think he'll learn that, and he'll do a better job, especially after tonight and watching this tape.
Archer has tons of time. He just got to sit back in the backfield, and Mario Dunbar caught that one. He'll get the first down.
Good job by the defensive backs. They did a good job in coverage right there. They kind of had a spy situation going on both outside receivers and running a zone across the field. They did a good job of clamping down. Archer couldn't find anybody, so he had to dump it off.
51 seconds to play. The clock stopped for the chains to move. I'm not sure why it hadn't started now, but
he went out of bounds.
Oh, he went out of bounds.
He did go out of bounds.
Archer has lots of time to survey the defense. He sends a man in motion. Gives it the clap. He looks left. He delivers a bullet, and that one's dropped at about the 8-yard line. Second down.
He's human. He threw it behind his receiver.
Yeah.
That was behind him, and the receiver did a good job of trying to come back to the ball, but it was just too far behind.
46 seconds left in the half. Ball's marked at the 22-yard line. He's going to roll out to his left. Nothing there. A little block in the back on Charlie Vaughn that was missed. It's all right. Kane Archer goes over to the left side. He broke a Jackson Silvers tackle and got it inside the 10. Be first and goal for Greenwood from about the 8-yard line.
Jackson did a good job coming out, getting him forced to the outside. It's always good if you can get if he's running out that way, you get him forced to the outside. You can use the sideline as kind of another player to help him get him out of bounds and make the tackle, so to speak.
So first and goal from the 7. 36 seconds to play. He'll empty the backfield with a man in motion. Again, a lot of time. Little pressure now. Good pressure there from Charlie Vaughn. And he's got to throw this one out the back of the end zone. It was almost caught, but Charlie Vaughn was so close multiple times there.
Great job. And they got one of our defensive linemen, two of them, double teamed. It looked like maybe it was Antoine Cooper. I couldn't really tell. But they got him on the ground and pretty much just laid on him and gave Archer time to get outside a little bit, at least make a throw. But Charlie Vaughn was doing a good job getting to him.
Yeah, Charlie never quit. So second down and goal. 26 seconds to play now. Trips out to the left. He's going to look that way. The blitz is coming. Good pickup on that. That ball was a little bit short and well defended. Jalen Brown played great coverage on that.
He did. He was right on him.
Chase Ponder provided the pressure on the blitz. And it'll be third down. 20 seconds to play.
Defense is doing a good job here. They've done a good job clamping down on this possession, especially as they got in the red zone. But, the Van Buren defense has done a good job in the red zone all year. I don't care what game it was. I know we had some games that kind of a little lopsided. They've done a good job in the red zone.
Yeah. Archer's a little gimpy right now. I don't know what happened, but he was kneeling in pain, and I think they're going to call a timeout to deal with it. Yeah, Greenwood takes the timeout. He was clearly grimacing and folded over on his legs as he was getting the play calls. So
he had an issue with his right knee earlier on. We saw the brace, and we saw how gimpy he was against Shiloh Christian in that game, and I think it had an impact on the game. Shiloh Christian came in with a good game plan, did a good job against him, actually knocked down probably 3 or 4, 5 balls by Archer. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that he had a bad wheel.
Yeah. If in the event that they bring their backup, there's a lot of connections. Cruz Coatney is the backup quarterback. He's the son of former Van Buren head coach Brooks Coatney, who coached here from 2010 to 2014. Played against this Greenwood team in 2014, 52-31 loss in that game.
And if I remember correctly, and then somebody can correct us if we're wrong, but I think Brooks Coatney also played quarterback here at Greenwood.
I believe you're right. Kane Archer with time on 3rd down. He throws an absolute dime to Cooper Bland right toward the goalpost, and that's a touchdown. And Greenwood's up 41-3 with 14 seconds to play in the first half.
That's one of those receivers to the outside. He goes straight across the backside of the end zone, and you've got man-to-man coverage. That's a really tough cover.
Extra point pending. It's up and good, and with 14 seconds to play in the first half, Greenwood leads this one 42-3, and the sportsmanship rule will be in effect. Clock stops a little, but it's not very much. I wouldn't try to explain all the rules. Just know the second half is going to be quick.
Yeah, the only time, and it just depends, and the coaches can decide when you get to this point how you want to handle that as far as the clock running. You can, it will stop after scores. Obviously, you can call a timeout and or in player injuries. But sometimes, depending on what the coaches have to say, they'll just keep the clock running unless it is a timeout.
So the coaches and the officials confer and kind of come to an agreement on it?
Yep, and they'll ask. I mean, the specific rule is the clock runs except after a score, except after an injury. Obviously doesn't run during an injury, and then also if you call a timeout. But it continues to run after a first down. It continues to run after incomplete passes. It continues to run if the player goes out of bounds.
So not the half that Van Buren was hoping for. We'll collect our thoughts at the halftime. We'll try to get an update on the Van Buren and Alma volleyball game. That kickoff is going to be handled by Teray Wilford at the 15, and it was well covered. He got 5 yards up to the 20. And with 10 seconds to play in the first half, Van Buren will take over there. Little pooch kick that Teray Wilford handled and Greenwood covered well.
You know, this is one where you take the kids in the locker room at halftime. Coaches settle them down. The frustration is going to be high. You know, the coaches are feeling it as well. I mean, they had a game plan. They were ready to come in here and be competitive. It hasn't turned out like that in the first half so far. So this is really now about the kids.
Yep. So on the probably final play of the half, Hayden Christenberry will explode over the left side, and he gets one of his better gains of the night up to they'll give him first down distance up to the 30. So a 10-yard gain. That's a positive way to end the first half.
Yeah.
So at the end of 2 quarters, Greenwood leads this one 42-3. This is Pointer Media with my broadcast partner Tim Malone. I'm Jay Baker. We're going to take a break. We'll send you to a couple commercials, and then we'll put you back on the field to enjoy the halftime entertainment. And then we'll come back with some thoughts on what to look for in the second half.
For our fifth graders, it's a chance to grow, connect, and create memories that last a lifetime. It's where lessons stretch beyond the classroom, where kids discover courage, teamwork, and the excitement of new challenges. For over 20 years, camp has been a cornerstone experience for our students, made possible by the pride and support of Van Buren. When you give, you're not just helping send a child to camp. You are investing in the heart of Van Buren. You are ensuring every student carries home memories, lessons, and friendships that last a lifetime. This is what makes Van Buren special. Let's continue the legacy together.
Tucked away in the Arkansas River Valley is a place where excellence isn't just a goal, it's a tradition. From the stage to the field, from the classroom to the community, Van Buren School District has set the standard for over 100 years. And for 2 consecutive years, we've been honored as best of the best in the River Valley. But here, being a Pointer means more than just attending school. It's embracing a tradition of learning, striving for greatness, and joining a legacy that drives success. Discover what makes the Pointer family truly the best of the best.
To the field, the GHS dance team. Dancers. The cheer and dance teams are coached by Jill Clark and Zach Johnson.
way of life. You're going about your day without a cloud in the sky. Then suddenly, you find yourself wondering how solid your home really is. With over 30 years of certified experience, let our team give you the same assurance on a stormy night that you feel on a clear afternoon. Before the downpour, before the leaks, call Foster Roofing. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley since 1994.
Are you looking for Miss Shackleton? Right here. Yes, I can. Thank you so much. And love. Oh, I totally forgot. I moved on you. This wasn't for me. I didn't. I didn't. Thank you. Into my class. Yeah. I totally forgot I gave you $2 like 2 weeks ago to give me a water. You're making me move, really? I totally forgot. Help me!
You're concerned about the schools and the last couple of years and the mistakes they've had on their life, or the earnings maintenance on their side, or the inefficiency of their work. Give us a call.
I love all my boys, don't get me wrong. Let's switch something up to get some. You know, we gotta get some. We're just doing the same thing.
For over 22 years,
Might as well have a problem with you. That's the problem we got. Yeah, that's the problem we got. You just keep those flags are not coming out. You can't get a hold in. Yeah, something ran right through him.
exterior, interior doors. They've got tricks, hardware, and more. Whether you're building, remodeling, or do it yourself, Lumber One's got what you need. Lumber One. Look for like Industrial Park or Vanderbilt, where service still matters. Lumber One says
I didn't have my phone to call you.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand because we've put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for auto, home, and life insurance. See Shelter rates at Jason Hill in Greenwood and ask about Shelter's competitive rates.
Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Charleston are unloading every week. To see what is arriving next, you can visit TokeM.com.
Hey, this is Pointer Media with my broadcast partner Tim Malone. I'm Jay Baker. Been a rough start to the night. Van Buren will start the second half, trailing this one 42-3. So before we dive into the bad news of that, let's give you the good news. The Van Buren volleyball team went to Alma tonight and absolutely dominated the Battle of the Bone. Won in 3 sets, 25-10, 25-11, and 25-13. So they are now locked in as the 3 seed in the state tournament, which will begin next Monday all the way over in Marion. We got to host the volleyball tournament last year, Tim, and that was much better than that terrible drive to Marion. But Lakeside awaits Van Buren next Monday at 6 p.m. That Lady Pointer team, I'm telling you, Tim, they're usually at the end of a kind of a broadcast season or a public address season, I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for a break.
Right.
I was actually sad Tuesday, senior night. I was sad to see it go. That volleyball team is special. They're fun to watch. Coach Adams comes over in her first year and leads them to an incredible year. And the future's bright at Van Buren. Aubrey McGee played her last home game, and she leaves Van Buren with her name all over the record books.
That's amazing.
Some of the records she owned before she started her senior season, and she just added to them. So a lot of good going on there. Let's talk about the football game here.
Okay. Well,
obviously there's a lot wrong, a lot to fix, but the coaching staff knows you're not coming back from this. So what's the message to the team coming into the second half of this game?
Well, this isn't the last game of the year. There's 2 more games to go. Mountain Home at home, and then Shiloh Christian on the road. So you've got to build towards that. You've got to build confidence towards that. You talk about in the locker room at halftime, look, it's 0-0. We're going out there and we're going to pound that ball. We're going to throw that ball. We're going to defend against this team. And who knows on the Greenwood side of the ball who or what we're going to see, but who cares?
Yeah.
You know, at this point, it's about Van Buren Pointer football. And it's about being positive. It's about learning, because coaches coach. They're going to keep coaching. These coaches aren't going to just throw in the towel at halftime. They're going to continue to coach. So their expectation is players play. So come out, play the football game, play linebacker position, play the quarterback position, block like a lineman, and do your job, because that's what you do at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a balance. You got to play hard. Everybody's got to play hard, and the balance for the coaching staff will be, look, we need to go into the Mountain Home game healthy. So there will be decisions to made about substitutions and this, that, or the other, but the expectation to play hard doesn't change because you're down 39 points.
Yeah. And the thing is, what you have to instill in anybody, there's no quit.
Yeah.
You know, I push that towards talking to my grandsons and their football, and they're young. They're not this level yet. You know, I've got an 8th grader and a 4th grader. And so I don't care what the score is. And the 8th grade Northridge team game here, they had a rough time, much like what's going on tonight. And man, I hollered at him on the field a couple times and said, don't quit. Don't quit. You never quit. Because if you do, you can use an excuse to quit at any point in a game or a season, and you just never quit.
Yeah, and to be clear, I don't think either one of us have any thought. I certainly don't, if I communicated it that way. This team has battled all year.
Oh, for sure. No, you did not. You didn't.
The Greenbrier game, when things didn't go their way, and they almost battled back in that one, and even at Springdale. There's no quit in this team.
No.
They haven't faced a deficit like this, but there's no doubt the effort will be there. And from a coaching staff perspective, I wonder if you look at this as an opportunity to see some of the younger guys, get them some field time, and see what they've got in the tank.
Very possible. And, you know, and coaches are going to have to read the demeanor and the body language, what they've got. You know, it's like having kids. You can't treat the oldest like you do the youngest and the second. You know, they're different. They're different personalities. And the coaches, they do the same thing. But they've got 50 kids, you know, that they're trying to read their personalities and what makes them tick. You know, Coach gave a great example about how some changes are made on the defensive side of the ball and how in years past there are some players don't play well under rules. Mm-hmm. They don't play well under rules. It's like, so sometimes you look at them and you go, okay, just go play football. Read the quarterback, read the running back. You be you. And so I think that's what coaches have to do in a situation like this, is they look at, actually you stop looking at the score and you just start looking at what you can accomplish and how you coach them up, you know.
Execute the next play.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what you have to do. And let me say
golfer.
This.
Go ahead.
No, you.
Yeah, you being a former golfer, I played terrible all the time, but you didn't. So when you had a bad shot on the golf course, the only thing you do is go hit the next one.
Yeah.
Same thing on the football field.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, you have to forget the last play, because if you're thinking, and I being an official for almost 20 years, if you got caught thinking about a call you should have made or maybe didn't make, or you did make and it was the wrong one, well, if you're thinking about that and the play starts on the next go round, you may just do it again. So you have to have a short memory. Same thing with these kids, same thing with these coaches. You have a short memory, and the coaches are going to keep coaching them up. They still have to block the way they're supposed to block. They still have to run the plays the way they're designed to be run, and nobody cashes it in.
Yep. Well, it's been a wild peregrination to get where we are in the season right now, and we're going to kick off the second half with Van Buren trailing 42-3. Greenwood will receive the kick as they deferred in the first half, or on the coin toss.
And let me say this, Jay, before we get this ball kicked off. I'm going to tell you, I'm super proud of this Van Buren. It's a fan. The fans have come out tonight, and this side is packed. and it's still packed. People are still trying to find places to sit. It's all the way down to one end to the other. It's not sparse. They came out. They supported this football team. It's exciting. And listen, I don't care what happens tonight. You can't take away 4-0 in conference, the first time since 1999, and take that away from these kids. They have fought hard. They have worked hard, and they will continue to work hard regardless of what happens tonight.
Well, they don't write their own fate, but you still have Mountain Home and Shiloh. So while they may not be in position to win the conference, they're certainly in position to be second.
Absolutely. And also, we're sitting at home the first week of playoffs.
Amen. Man, a home playoff game.
Exciting. That's
Maybe
exciting.
a home bye. That would be even better. But got to finish out tonight, finish well, finish injury-free, and then take care of business against Mountain Home next week.
Yep.
So to start second half, Kane Archer is still out. Looks like they'll run the starters a little while longer. Clock has begun to run. He throws out to his right real quick as a wide-open target who's brought down by Darren Mays. And Donovan Akins up across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
They're just running the same stuff they ran at the end of the half, actually most of the first half.
Basically the same play there, but just much shorter. I don't know if he caught that or not.
They are definitely and have been all night and for most of the season, unless they see something different on the defense when they play whoever they've got coming up. At the end of the day, they're pass first always. They're spreading the field. They're looking to pass the ball. They'll run it a few times.
Archer will hand that one off, speaking of the run game. And the defense stopped him short. He got up to the 44-yard line. It'll be third down, short. Line to gain is the 46. They're at the 44, so 3rd and 2.
They like to run behind that man in motion.
Pulled that ball, kept it, breaks it out to the left, and Kane Archer will pick up the first down and run it out at the 34-yard line. He is the team's leading rusher.
That was an option play. He put it into the gut of the running back and then decided to pull it. He saw the opening right down the middle, pulled the ball from the running back, and just took off.
He'll look to pass to the left. It's not there. He's calling for a man to go out on the right and come back, and he threw the comebacker, but it bounces off the hands. Be second down.
He was fussing at somebody on the left-hand side. I don't know if it was – I think it was talking to one of his receivers. I don't think he ran the route he wanted him to.
He and Cooper Bland communicating about something. Two tailbacks in the backfield with him this time. He'll send the tight end out to the left. Looks right, throws right, quick crosser. That's number 9, Braden Brewer. Braden Brewer is actually listed as a quarterback on their roster sheet, but he's 6'4", 215. They have a lot of big kids on this team.
They do have a lot of big kids. And athletes, pretty good athletes.
So 3rd and very short. Handoff. Mario Dunbar, I believe, picked it up. Yeah, they're going to mark him down to the 25. So first down for Mario Dunbar.
Good job clogging up the middle. Charlie Bond got in there. Donovan Aiken got in. It was a good job. Also,
8:59 to play in the third quarter. Greenwood moving the ball down the field. Handoff to Dunbar over the right side. He makes a couple cuts and gets now near the 15 before he's brought down by Darren Mays and a host of pointers.
Good job clogging up the middle by the defense.
Hayden Elliott checks in for the pointers.
They're just unpiling. Thought somebody was hurt. They had somebody down, but
Darren Mays will get a breather. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 16. Handoff goes over to the left side. The defense bottled him up over there, but Dunbar broke the tackle, broke it out to the right, and he's going to get a touchdown. Mario Dunbar runs for 16 yards, and then Greenwood leads 48-3.
Well, that's frustrating right there because they had him. He was on that side. They just didn't get him wrapped up. And they have been doing such a good job all year of wrapping up and getting guys on the ground on initial contact. And that just didn't happen. And he was able to bounce around and off the pile and take it to the right side.
Landon Franklin with the extra point. He's perfect tonight, 7 for 7, and Greenwood takes a 49-3 lead. Clock continues to roll due to the sportsmanship rule. And Van Buren will look to just get a little offensive momentum at this point. You don't want to go into next week with what you've put up so far. We didn't tell you at half, but 75 yards of offense total in the first half. 53 yards in the air and 22 yards on the ground. That's really impressive to me, the way they've stopped the run, holding Christenberry to 22 yards on 12 carries.
The offense has sputtered more than we've seen all year the last 2 games. They struggled a little bit against Southside, but they did enough to get it done. And the defense played really well. Tonight, they sputtered some. They've had a rough time of it. The defense has had a rough time of it. And you kind of see the result of that. And you got to give credit to Greenwood with their ability to play the defense they played tonight.
Greenwood will host Southside next week. It'll be senior night for them, and then they'll make the trip to Mountain Home in 2 weeks. Again, Mountain Home comes to Van Buren next week for senior night. They're at Citizens Bank Stadium. That kickoff goes down and rolls into the end zone, and Van Buren will start from their own 20. 6:18 to play right now.
Teray Wilford rolled the dice on that, hoping it would go into the end zone. Kind of watched it.
Hey, we've shown you the commercial a couple times, but I haven't mentioned them. We do want to thank our sponsors, the University of Arkansas Fort Smith. They make this broadcast possible, the basketball broadcast that'll soon begin, and the volleyball broadcast are all made possible thanks to the University of Arkansas Fort Smith. UAFS.edu for your continuing education needs. Hayden Christenberry over the left side. He's met almost immediately. Gets up to the 22. Gets a 2-yard gain.
Looks like the starting defense for the Bulldogs is still in. Still got 49. Cody Johnson still in there. He's probably their standout defender.
Williford drops back, throws the quick out to Austin Riggs, who's immediately met. He got a little bit on that, gets the ball up to the 25-yard line, so 3-yard completion. He's up to 21 yards now.
And the Pointers need a first down here. They need some success on this drive.
The quick outs have been there, but Greenwood has tackled very well. There just haven't been the yards after catch that you're accustomed to. Williford looked right, didn't let it go. He's going to cut loose out to the left, and he threw it to Teray Wilford, just underthrew him a touch. He had him. If he had had the opportunity to throw that ball deep, that could have been 6.
Yeah. I don't care who's out there playing. Teray Wilford's got the speed to get behind just about anybody that they're playing. But poor Hayden Wilford was again running. Williford was running to his left. That's a hard throw for a quarterback. He's right-handed. He's rolling to his left. You're throwing across your body, trying to go backwards. That's a hard throw, and that's tough to get much on.
So the Pointers will punt. About 4 minutes remain in this quarter. Good punt, taken all the way back to the 33-yard line. My goodness, Manning Dotson put a charge into that punt.
He's punted well tonight. I mean, we were down there on the field watching him pregame kick. He kicks a really nice high spiral. That's a good-looking punt.
And that one had tons of hang time, too.
Yeah, it
so
did.
that if we were in a situation where we needed it, the defense had a chance to make a play on that. So the backup quarterback comes in. That's Cruz Coatney, number 10. He's a sophomore. I'm sorry, he's a junior, 6 foot, 195 pounds. He throws a strike to Benton Hossley, but it's dropped.
If this Greenwood team that we've seen has an Achilles heel on offense, their receivers outside of number 1 and number 2, but outside those, they will drop some balls from time to time.
Coatney looks left. He pulled it. He might run. No, a quick out to the tight end, Braden Rennick. And Rennick will pick up about 8, maybe 7.
See, that's the tough part. If you watch Hayden Elliott, who was on that coverage right there on Rennick, he's covering him, but the quarterback's rolling out. There's nobody else out there. He's trying to decide, do I need to come up and help or do I stay with this guy? And, you know, you're in between a rock and a hard place there.
Yeah, Coatney did a good job selling like he might run there and pulled it at the last second. Good play design. Good execution. Coatney throws that quick crosser down to number 81. That's Lawson Leaf. And that's a first down for Greenwood to the 45.
Van Buren's got their second unit in as well on defense. Jace Ponder's coming out at this point.
2 minutes to go. The clock continues to run. Quick out to the right side. Caught and got about 5 yards out of it, up to the 50 or the 49.
You know, at this point, you're talking to these guys that are out on the field right now. Play your position, do the basics, do what we've taught you to do.
He had a target, but he tripped and it bounced off his helmet, and the defender had a chance to make a play. Greenwood wide out, was looking to make his cut, slipped. Brooks Coatney put it on him, and it literally careened off his helmet and bounced in the air.
And Van Buren player had a chance.
Donovan Akins almost came up with that one. That would have been a highlight.
It would have.
So 5 wide for Greenwood. Coatney looks left, looks right, dances in the pocket, makes a good pass and a great catch. 81 again, so Lawson Leith getting some playing time. He's a sophomore, and he's making the most of it.
Again, just a quick crossing pattern. He put it out there, and what a great catch because the ball was low. He was running full speed, got it around his knees, and he didn't break stride.
They marked him down to the 14-yard line. Handoff up the middle, goes across the 10. They mark him down at the 9-yard line.
The positive side, especially for the defense tonight, has been the fact that they really have – the run hasn't given up much. Other than it's the scrambles or the design quarterback runs by Archer, there hasn't been much available up that middle.
So we're going to go to the fourth quarter here. The Pointers are trailing 49-3. We'll send you to this message from the University of Arkansas Fort Smith, and we'll come back to finish this game out.
And that's the end of the third quarter with your score, Bulldogs 49.
Well, Tim, it's good to see the energy. The Pointer football team collected at the 50. Coach and staff met with them, and there was still plenty of energy in that huddle, recognizing this game's kind of a lost cause, but there's a lot of energy, and nothing better than a real game for practice. You know, you get tired of hitting each other. At least when you're out here, you get to hit somebody else.
Like we talked about coming into it, the main thing is we only gave up 7 points in the third quarter. I know the clock's running. You can look at all of the things that, you know, negative Nelly would say, but you know, let's look at the positives. The defense gave up 7 points, able to now get the ball and try to do something with it.
Yeah. So some of the starters coming back out. I see Darren Mays and Jackson Silvers, Charlie Vaughn, TJ Woodruff. Looks like the starting unit coming out on defense. Donovan Akins. I wonder if the coaching staff said, hey, I'm going to challenge you to get a stop right here.
Yeah.
Second down and 5, inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Cruz Coatney in at quarterback. He's got Wesley Raggio to his right. He throws a quick screen out to Raggio, who makes a great cut back, and he got held up short. Good tackle.
That was Darren
to keep
Mays.
him out of the end zone.
Man, Darren did a great job getting him and just pulling him backwards. That young man, Wesley Raggio, he's a senior, 5'6", 165 pounds. He's not a big kid, but man, he's quick.
He's explosive for sure. They'll hand it off to him. He'll get another chance, and he made a kind of unnecessary cut, but he got the touchdown. So Greenwood jumps up 55-3. Clock's currently at 11:15 and running. Good fireworks. I have to give Greenwood credit for the atmosphere they create for these home games with the fireworks shows and the flashing lights.
Well, the good news, we're costing a ton of money in fireworks.
That's
You know what?
That's right.
We're going to look at that. Keep spending your money, Greenwood. Go ahead.
Oh, man. That's how we're taking them down, is financially, one firework at a time.
Hey, we got a plan. We got a plan.
Perfect.
You know, and I don't know. I've been around a while, I guess, but when the lights go off, it freaks me out, honestly, every time. And they've been doing this, I know, for 4 or 5 years where they've got but back in the day when the lights went off, you had to wait.
Yeah, they were off for a while.
40, 45 minutes because they had to cool down before you could bring them back up. You know?
There was no idea of some LED lights that you could immediately flip back on.
Yeah.
You were just done for a while.
You were done for a while. Yeah, if those lights went out, it was an issue. And, of course, you know, back when we played at night, when I played, it was lanterns.
Yeah.
We had lanterns.
And leather helmets.
And
the whole
leather
deal.
helmets. Yes, yeah.
So kickoff for Greenwood from the 40. Be taken up short by the up man, Kelly. And he took a knee at the 26, and that's where Van Buren will begin. 9:42, the clock continues to roll.
You know, I appreciate Hayden Williford came over. I saw him offensive line, and a couple of guys were sitting over on the benches over here. And he came over and just tried to, you know, pep them up, clapping, saying, come on, let's go out there and keep playing. Let's keep playing football.
Starters are still in on offense. 9 minutes to play. Greenwood getting some backups in on defense. Hand off to Christenberry, and he's met in the backfield. That'll be a loss.
And that's been tough going tonight. We had a few decent busts up the middle in the first quarter. But, man, since then, it has been tough sledding.
Yeah, this defense has really played the run well. He's up to 13 carries for 22, or 14 carries for 22 yards now. Good out to Carter Kelly right there, 27-yard line.
You know, that's just one of those plays you can run, you execute well, you look at it on film, you bring the kids in next week, say, this is what works. This is a good play.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting 5 yards. It's a positive, and let's keep looking at it. Let's keep running.
3rd and 9 for Hayden Williford. He's got to back up. Now he's got to scramble. He's got a target. Oh, my goodness. He had Hayden Christenberry, and it just bounced out of his hands. So that's one of the areas that Christenberry can definitely get better as you look to improve. He doesn't catch the ball particularly well, and I have no doubt that he will improve in that. Like that probably should have been a completion. But
yeah, he'll work on that. And he's gotten 2 tonight that have hit him right in the hands that he's dropped. Yeah. And that's something – he's a sophomore.
And he's a running back.
And he's a running back. And, you know, you ask kids at the beginning of every year, what do you think you need to work on this year? What is it that you need to improve? And that might be one thing that he looks at next year, especially as he goes into spring football and into the summer. Hey, I need to catch the ball better. Let's work on that.
So Manning Dotson's back to punt. He's going to get that one down the field again. So that is a positive he can take from tonight. The punting game has been solid. That goes all the way down to the 21-yard line. He has flipped the field multiple times.
He's had a great – there's been a bright spot tonight. It has been Manning tonight. He's been able to – Manning Dotson, he's been able to put the ball inside the 5. What, at the 2 one time?
Yeah.
Early in that
First
first
got
half?
a great bounce.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be more important in these next 2 games. And Mountain Home or Shiloh are certainly very good. I don't think they're as good as this Greenwood team, though. So
No.
I anticipate the next 2 weeks will be dogfights, and your punting game matters in games like that big time.
And I think the kids will be down after tonight, and the coaches will give them time to recover and recoup. But then come Saturday, Sunday, when they start looking at film and they start going after it, it's like, come on, let's go. Get your head up. We've got a lot of football to play.
Coatney hands the ball off, going to go over the right side, and that young man was met. I'll tell you what, Austin Stiles, who's been out with injuries, good to see Stiles back in. Austin met him and took him down with purpose.
Yeah, it is nice to see him because he's been hurt most of this year.
I want to make sure I got that. We want to make sure we give credit to that tackler. I thought it was 16. Yeah, okay, that's Austin Stiles. Spotter Austin Myers confirms that Austin Stiles made the tackle. So Greenwood steps up. 5.5 to play. Coatney continues to quarterback. That was a high snap that he handled well, and the handoff was to Rhett Holloway. He's a junior, wears number 21.
All right, good job. They got a first down. Good job. We've got some guys who don't get in a ton, but they're out there putting their head down.
Greenwood got it up to the 34-yard line. They're taking their time, milking the play clock, showing class. And I tell you, you and I talked about it in text this week, that the one thing I noticed going back to the Shiloh game and the Lake Hamilton game, especially in the Lake Hamilton game, it was much like this one. It really wasn't close. I saw a lot of Greenwood players helping Lake Hamilton players up after they laid the wood on them.
Yeah.
And that's probably my favorite thing about football.
Yeah.
I remember, when we were coaching these young men in Little League, myself and a few of these other dads that are up here, that was one of the points we always made. I want you to lay the wood on him.
Right.
Take him down for a loss, and then I want you to extend your hand and help him up. And then do it again on the next play until he gets tired of getting up.
Listen, this is a physical game. I mean, you don't walk onto a football field expecting not to get hit because that's the whole idea. Back in the day, kill the man with the ball. You went after him.
Yeah.
Well, that's what football is. It's going after the guy with the ball, trying to knock somebody down. But you know what? It doesn't mean you have to be a jerk once the play's on.
Yep. From snap to whistle,
Yeah.
You're a warrior.
That's right.
And then to be a warrior, you can be kind after the whistle. So
That's right.
I love the lessons that football teaches young men like that.
Hayden Elliott in on that tackle. Austin Stiles again involved on that tackle.
So Greenwood got the first down. They've got the ball at their own 44. The clock continues to roll down to 3.5 minutes. Play clock hasn't even begun yet, so I don't anticipate that Greenwood will be in any rush to snap the ball.
I'd like for the defense to get a stop here, maybe with another 1.5 minutes to go. I'd like for the offense to get one more shot, trying to get the ball down the field, and let them feel a little bit success tonight.
Just saw a handshake at the 44 again. We were just talking about kind of the sportsmanship and the class. Enjoy that. Lawson Leith and Zion Nixon shaking hands at the 45-yard line before that play even began. Handoff goes over the right side. That's a good run. He gets it across the 50, and that should be a Greenwood first down. Rhett Holloway getting playtime in this second half, and he's really making the most of it. He's popped.
It was just a good run. Got up the sideline. Able to make a couple guys miss. Made a decent gain out of it.
2.5 to play. Van Buren doesn't have the particular depth to really sub a whole lot of people. Nathan Hunter is getting some play time. He wears number 33. He's on the right end right now. Jalen Brown's still in. Brady Perkins is still in. So a lot of the starters. William Damas getting some play on the left end. This handoff goes over to the left side. That tailback looks like a giant.
He is a
Number
big
32,
boy. He is a
Terry
big boy.
McGinster is 6'3", 185. I wouldn't bet anything on that 185.
He is a big young man.
That's the kind of guy, he looks like the running back for the Ravens, who if I saw him running at me, I would just go the other way.
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
Yeah. 90 seconds to play. Greenwood has the ball, second down at the 43-yard line. Once again, Van Buren will be home next week. Senior night, hosting Mountain Home in a very important game. Pointer Nation needs to show up big time. There's McGinster with a broken tackle. Got it out to the left side, up to the 40. So one more play for Greenwood coming up, and that should wrap this one up.
TJ Woodruff on that tackle. TJ's not a big kid. He came up and smacked the big guy from Greenwood pretty good.
Yeah. 56-3 will probably be the final score of this one. Van Buren will lick their wounds and get ready to host a really potent Mountain Home team next week. Again, with a lot on the line. Win that game and you're in second place, and you've got a chance to own second place in the conference against Shiloh Christian the following week.
And the good news is you're playing on a Thursday night, and you've got an extra day to prepare. And I think after a game like this, probably the coaches will welcome a good extra day.
Yeah, so 10 seconds about to roll off, and the teams are meeting at the 50, and this one didn't go the way of the Pointers. Congratulations to the Bulldogs, a 56-3 win here at Smith Robinson Stadium. Van Buren will collect their thoughts, get ready for Mountain Home. The Bombers come to town in a really important game. And once again, we do want to remind you the volleyball team starts their state playoff bid Monday in Marion. You can watch that using the AAA website. The Pointer Media cannot carry that. AAA does the playoffs, but find that, support those young ladies, and we'll see you next Friday night as the Pointers and Mountain Home Bombers go to war at Citizens Bank Stadium in Van Buren, and we honor a very special senior class with some players that are going to leave their mark on the books, Tim. So
that's exciting, and looking forward to watching them in the playoffs.
On behalf of Lindsey Cottrell, Stephen Copeland, Austin Myers, and Tim Malone, I'm Jay Baker. This is Pointer Media. Thank you for tuning in, and travel safe.